Robyn Cassidy, I'm a partner with Deloitte in our public sector transformation practice. I think it's an art and a science, so I think very much it's an evolving process. We've seen a lot of it in kind of major infrastructure asset management. We've seen less in housing, but I think there's tremendous opportunity in using the lessons learned from infrastructure and being able to apply it to housing. I think it's probably two or three things. One, it's really finding the right partner and making sure that they really align on a values perspective. And then second, I think it's really around coming up with creative deal structures so that ultimately it can support the people it's trying to ultimately generate revenue for, but also create kind of social impact. Yeah, I think a lot of it is around kind of shared alignment and values, and then also just getting really clear on kind of whose role is what. We talk a bit about it being like a marriage, and so kind of understanding who has which role and how to make sure that the deal can kind of work successfully for the shared values. Yeah, I think a lot of it's around transparency. So really just understanding kind of what everybody's role is, how they can get aligned on kind of what the ultimate process is going to look like. And then I think just ultimately kind of a bit of a mission in terms of where they want to go together. I think some of it's willing participants. There's different trains of thought about whether or not this is the right procurement tool, but a lot of the conversation today was how do we flip this and how do we start to think about kind of large asset management with housing being one of the key kind of outputs of it. So I think more education, more awareness, more willingness of partners to think differently and try different things in a way that maybe can be piloted and then ultimately expanded, I think is how we're thinking about getting individuals kind of aligned on this overall goal. Yeah, it's tricky. We had a great economic overview from Brian this morning. He was so positive, but the numbers weren't great that he was presenting. We had a good overview from Jen's as well, just in terms of what the impact is on housing. And obviously we've got a federal election happening and some uncertainty there, and obviously with everything happening south of the US. So again, I think now is really an opportunity for governments, private entities to come together to think creatively and try some things. I think very much we saw a little bit today from Vancouver, how they're thinking about their model. It was met with some opposition, but again, I think it's very much now's an opportunity to try things a little bit differently and ultimately support something that's so important to all of our communities.